What if the power to endure life's ups and downs with equanimity lies within us? This question is the cornerstone of a philosophical doctrine that has been around for over 2 millennia, Stoicism. Stoicism, originating from ancient Greece, is more than just a philosophy. It is a way of life. At its core, it champions the idea that we should focus our energies on the aspects of life we can control, while accepting those we cannot. It's about finding serenity in the midst of chaos, a mental tranquility that remains unscathed by life's unpredictable storms. The Stoic philosophy is underpinned by 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Wisdom, to discern what we can and cannot control. Courage, to act on the things we can influence. Justice, to treat others with fairness, and temperance, to exercise restraint and moderation in all aspects of life. These principles guide us to live a life of purpose, resilience, and tranquility. They teach us to appreciate the present, to let go of past regrets and future anxieties. They direct us to live in accordance with nature, to accept the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. However, like all philosophical doctrines, Stoicism can be a double-edged sword. It can be both good and bad, not in itself, but in how it's understood and applied. When practiced in its true essence, it can lead to a fulfilling and contented life. But when misunderstood or misapplied, it might lead to emotional suppression, indifference, or even apathy. So it's crucial to understand that Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions or being indifferent to the world around us. It's about accepting our emotions, understanding them, and not letting them control our actions and decisions. It's about maintaining our inner peace and equilibrium, regardless of the external circumstances. Now that we've grasped the basics of Stoicism, it's time to dive deeper and explore its 2 faces, the good and the bad. In our upcoming scenes, we'll delve into the nuances of the good and bad Stoicism and how to strike a balanced approach. Stay tuned as we continue this philosophical journey. In a world brimming with uncertainties, good Stoicism shines as a beacon of resilience. Imagine a life where emotional turbulence is calmly weathered, where acceptance is not a sign of weakness but strength, where mindfulness is not a fleeting trend but a way of life, and where inner peace is not an elusive dream but a tangible reality. That's the life of a good Stoic. Good Stoicism is more than just a philosophical concept. It's a lifestyle, a mindset that equips individuals with emotional resilience. It's about understanding that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we react to it. Life will inevitably throw curveballs our way, but a good Stoic stands tall, not swayed by the tumultuous winds of misfortune. Acceptance plays a crucial role in good Stoicism. It's about recognizing the impermanence of life, understanding that everything changes and nothing lasts forever. It's about accepting the ebb and flow of life, the good times and the bad, and not resisting them. But acceptance doesn't mean passivity. A good Stoic is mindful, fully present in the moment, not lost in the past or anxious about the future. They understand that the present moment is all we truly have, and they cherish it. They do not let their thoughts and emotions control them, they control their thoughts and emotions. This mindful acceptance leads to inner peace. Inner peace in Stoicism doesn't mean the absence of conflict, but the ability to remain calm and composed amidst it. It's about finding serenity within oneself, regardless of the chaos outside. The practicality of Stoicism in everyday life is evident. It's not about suppressing emotions, but about understanding and managing them. It's about maintaining a balanced perspective, not getting swept away by the highs and lows of life. It's about living a life of virtue and wisdom grounded in the present moment. Clearly, good Stoicism can be a powerful tool to navigate life's stormy seas, but what happens when Stoicism goes wrong? Like the 2 sides of a coin, Stoicism too has a darker side. Now, while Stoicism can be a tool of great power, it's not without its pitfalls. Misunderstood or misapplied, it can lead to some unintended and often unpleasant outcomes. One such pitfall is emotional suppression. Stoicism advises us to control our reactions to external events, not to suppress our feelings entirely. When misunderstood, this can lead to a dangerous practice of bottling up emotions, which can have serious repercussions on mental health. It's essential to remember that Stoicism doesn't mean becoming devoid of feelings, but rather gaining mastery over them. Another common pitfall is indifference. Stoicism encourages us to accept things as they are, focusing on what we can change and letting go of what we cannot. However, this can be misconstrued as an invitation to indifference or apathy. True Stoicism is not about being indifferent to the world around us, but about understanding our role in it and acting accordingly. Perhaps the most concerning pitfall is the potential for misuse. Stoicism, like any philosophy, is open to interpretation, and in the wrong hands it can be twisted to justify harmful actions or attitudes. It's important to remember that Stoicism is a philosophy of virtue and ethics, and it should never be used as a shield for immoral behavior. So, misinterpretation and misuse of Stoicism can lead to emotional numbness, indifference, and even justify harmful actions. It's not the philosophy itself, but rather its improper application that can lead to these negative outcomes. Stoicism is about accepting life's challenges with grace, not about becoming unfeeling or indifferent. It's about understanding our role in the world and acting accordingly, not about justifying harmful actions. And most importantly, it's about finding peace within ourselves, not about suppressing our emotions. So, while Stoicism can provide a strong foundation for mental fortitude, it's crucial to avoid its potential pitfalls. So, how do we strike the right balance between the good and bad Stoicism? To answer this, we must first remind ourselves that Stoicism isn't a rigid doctrine, but a philosophy of life, a guide to living well. It's about finding the sweet spot where we can acknowledge our feelings without being ruled by them, where we can face the world's challenges with equanimity and grace. Cultivating good Stoicism, then, starts with self-awareness. It's about recognizing our emotional reactions and understanding why they occur. When we feel anger, frustration, or sadness, we should not shun these emotions but examine them. What triggers them? What thoughts accompany them? By understanding our emotions, we can better manage our responses to them. Next, it's about practicing mindfulness, being present in the moment. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control and let go of what's not. This simple yet profound shift in perspective can free us from unnecessary worry and stress. It encourages us to take responsibility for our actions and attitudes rather than blaming external circumstances. However, beware of the traps of bad Stoicism. It's easy to misunderstand Stoicism as a call to suppress emotions or embrace apathy. This couldn't be further from the truth. Stoicism doesn't ask us to become emotionless robots, but rather to be rational, empathetic beings who understand that emotions are a natural part of life, not something to be feared or avoided. So, how do we avoid these traps? By remembering that Stoicism is a tool, not a rule book. It's a guide to help us navigate life, not a set of commandments to be followed blindly. It's about striving for balance, not perfection. In the end, Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions or becoming indifferent, but about understanding and accepting life as it is, with all its ups and downs. It's about developing resilience, inner peace, and a deep sense of contentment that remains unshaken even in the face of adversity. That, my friends, is the true power of Stoicism.